Good afternoon, New Jersey. I tell you, I believe she's the reason that the Yankees won. And I believe she's going to help us out on Tuesday, so I'm feeling good about her. It's my pleasure to see you all here. Tuesday is the day, and it's nice to see folks are still paying attention. We're seeing you from all over. You guys look great. It's a pleasure to know you're here. Now, I have the pleasure of introducing a man I think you all know pretty well. You've elected Senator Lautenberg to serve in the U.S. Senate 3 times because he always puts New Jersey first. He has a solid record of achievement in protecting the environment for families and investing in transportation. This is really a straight speech, you know? This is just not for me. You know what he's done. That's why he's been elected 3 times. I don't have to tell you. He believes in the people, and he certainly believes in New Jersey. Please welcome Senator Lautenberg.
Thank you, Whoopi. Thank you, everybody. The reason that Whoopi was so serious is that at her last appearance in the state, she introduced me as a man of great humor. And following her, I felt a lot like Al Gore doing the Macarena. Mr. President, thank you for once again coming to New Jersey. When you're here, you lift our spirits, you provide us with vision, and you encourage hope. And we want all of those things, and we want you, Mr. President, to be elected. New Jersey is going to do its share to make sure that happens. We're here also, if I may take just one moment to say that I'm going to miss Bill Bradley. We've worked together for 14 years. He served the state so well, served the country beautifully. But I'm also here to say that we need Bob Torricelli to fill the spot that Bill Bradley is going to leave open. We need and we want Bob Torricelli in the United States Senate. We need Bob there to fight with me for a better environment for New Jersey, to keep the oceans clean, to keep our coast inviting. We need Bob Torricelli to help us guarantee that every child who can learn will get an education, and Bob Torricelli is committed to that. We need Bob Torricelli there to make sure that the Republicans don't cut Medicare to give tax breaks to those who don't need it and who can afford to do without it. We need Bob Torricelli there for that. And so, Mr. President, I can tell you this, that New Jersey wants you back in the White House doing what you've done for 4 years to improve the job market. We in New Jersey have had some bad experience with downsizing. But because of the fact that interest rates are low and new entrepreneurs can invest and people can buy homes, we've been making up for that job loss. And under President Clinton's direction, we have recovered 10.5 million jobs in the 4 years that Bill Clinton has been the President of the United States. It's been a fantastic record. And the Republicans, no matter how hard they try, they cannot doom and gloom this society, this economy that we now have. We want, that's right, we want 4 more years of Bill Clinton's leadership. We need it desperately. We'll get 4 more years, but if we keep the president out here in the cold, he's liable not to last the half hour that he's got to be here. So I will conclude by saying that New Jersey is very excited about the next presidency, the next term that President Clinton is going to serve, about having Bob Torricelli alongside me in the United States Senate, and having New Jersey continue the recovery that it's had under the Clinton administration and under the leadership that we've had. So everybody, let's say, for President Bill Clinton, we want 4 more years.
Thank you, Senator Lautenberg. You noticed his humor today. I've mentioned it before and I've mentioned it again. I want him to go on Letterman. He's refusing, but we'll work it out. I am going, baby. Because the man I'm going to introduce, I know that's not a dole sign I see. Oh, now, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. You know what? You know the great thing about the country is everybody's entitled to their opinion, even if it's kind of wrong. So let us welcome them, because in victory, we have compassion, baby. So y'all are more than welcome to hang out. You might learn something. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce a man who got me out of a very tight spot the first time I went out to stomp for him. I got in a lot of trouble. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to scare the people I was there to get money from. But somehow I did. And Bill Bradley, he wasn't afraid of me. He thought I was funny. And I always thought he was incredible. He's been your senator for 18 years. 18 years, child. And I think he can be best characterized with the words common sense, intelligence, caring. He understands. I'm sorry to see him go, but you know what? He'll still be around. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Bill Bradley.
I thought Whoopi was funny. And she is, but she's also wise. Thank you very much, Whoopi Goldberg, for that great introduction. Mr. President, my colleague, Senator Frank Lautenberg, Congressman Don Payne, Congressman Bob Torricelli. You know, sometimes when you're out campaigning, somebody you meet catches the essence of a difference between two candidates. Somebody along the road pulls your arm and shares a thought with you that captures who somebody really is. A couple of weeks ago, I was out campaigning, I forget exactly where, and a woman, as I was leaving the event, came up to me. She tugged on my arm, and I looked at her, and she said, "You know who Bob Dole reminds me of?" And I said, "No, who?" She said, "He reminds me of the guy on the block who used to open his front door and look out and say to the kids, 'Keep off my grass.'" Right, okay, you know. You know, that just kind of captures the essence, doesn't it? I don't think it's a surprise that President Bill Clinton comes into Union today with a big lead in New Jersey and a lead across this country. I don't think it's a surprise at all. It is because he has responded to middle-class families across this country that are working harder and earning less and trying to figure out how they're going to send their kids to college. He's responded to their needs, and he will continue to respond. He's listened wherever he has been to the concern of people to protect the natural environment, whether it was on the Jersey Shore or whether it was in the Red Rock wilderness of southern Utah, and he's acted to protect the wilderness and the Jersey Shore. He's made a profound commitment to reduce the role of money in politics and to fight for fundamental campaign finance reform. And above all, he's spoken to every American with the promise and the conviction of somebody who believes that it doesn't make a difference what color your skin is, what the shape of your eyes are, what your religion is, what your accent is. As he says, if you get up every day and go to work and play by the rules, you should have a chance in America. And those are all the reasons that Bill Clinton is ahead today and why he will win this election. But I'm not here today just to joke about Bob Dole or to praise President Clinton. But I'm here to tell you about someone who is very special, and that's Congressman Bob Torricelli. I've served New Jersey to the best of my ability for the last 18 years. I've worked hard to do the best that I can. And I want someone to succeed me in the United States Senate who shares my same vision for New Jersey and for America, who fights every day with a strong energy for New Jersey because he recognizes that what the federal government does helps middle-class families when they want to send their kids to college, helps protect our environment, helps the elderly cope with health care costs, and makes investment in infrastructure that creates jobs and lays the groundwork for new jobs in the future. I want someone to succeed me in the United States Senate who has the same commitment to public service, who's moved by the same speeches in American history as I've been moved by, who dreams the same dreams I do about New Jersey and America. I want to pass the torch of this office to someone who is worthy of the trust of the people of New Jersey. So I'll say to New Jerseyans who tonight might be undecided as to how they're going to vote in the Senate election on Tuesday, I ask you to support for the seat that I've occupied with great gratitude to all of you for the last 18 years. I ask you to support, and I am now going to pass the symbolic torch to what I hope will be the next senator from New Jersey, and with all of your help, he will be the next senator from New Jersey, Bob Torricelli.
Thank you, Bill, very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, sometimes in life, the most complicated of questions can have a simple answer. People ask me every day, what kind of United States Senator do you want to be? And I always know how to answer. I want to serve the people of New Jersey. I want to be a United States Senator like Bill Bradley has been a United States Senator. From all of us, Bill, you have served with distinction. You have honored us, and we will always be grateful for your service to our state and to our people. To Frank Lautenberg, I want you all to know
that there will be many great ambitions met on this election day. But for Frank Lautenberg as well, it is a special day, because on that day, if all goes right, he will meet his lifetime's ambition finally of becoming the tallest United States Senator from the state of New Jersey. My friends, it is little more than 70 years since my grandmother and grandfather walked out of a small village in Italy to come to these shores and to build a life in this new country. Their name was Torricelli, and it still is. I want you to know that from my family, the honor that you have given me by allowing me to run for the United States Senate is the finest moment in the life of every member of my family. Before the first vote is cast, I want you to know for each of those generations and for all of us, you have honored us, and I thank you for the privilege of representing you in this great contest for the United States Senate. Thank you, each and every one of you. For these weeks, like a country lawyer before a jury of our peers, I have tried to make my case for the continuation of the moderate bipartisan commitments that have always characterized the state of New Jersey. I've talked about my belief to finish the job for a clean environment, to continue our tradition of reasonable gun control, to keep the promise to our parents of a safe and secure Medicare, and the continuing commitment of a quality education for all of our children. In making my case, I've tried to draw upon all of my resources, the strength that I have in my being. I've called as witness the best that I knew in our state. I have not stood alone. In the case for a clean environment, I've brought the Sierra Club and the endorsement of the New Jersey Environmental Federation. In the commitment to reasonable gun control, I brought each and every one of the police organizations in our state who have pleaded for gun control and to get assault weapons off of our streets. In the commitment for a quality education, I brought each and every one of the teachers and parents organizations before you to plead for a quality education. And in the quality of Medicare and the commitment to our parents, each and every one of the major organizations representing senior citizens have stood with me in this fight. And so I come before you tonight not simply as the representative of the Democratic Party, but in a broad and a deep coalition representing the best of independents, Democrats, and Republicans who in our state have always stood for these common values. And in these closing days before you, the jury of millions, I have said, as Dick Zimmer has voted to allow military assault weapons, he stands alone because that's not New Jersey. As Dick Zimmer has voted against each and every education appropriation bill since he came to the Congress and against student loans, he stands alone because that's not New Jersey. And when he voted to suspend safe drinking water standards or to stop new Superfund sites or for ocean dumping, he stands alone because that's not New Jersey. My friends, I come here today not only to plead my own case for the United States Senate, but in fact for a larger cause. This isn't about winning an election. This isn't simply a question of Bill Clinton succeeding on Election Day or Bob Torricelli being elected to the Senate. It is ultimately about governing the country. Governing the country means having people in elected office who share values and common commitments. On the day that the federal government closed, Dick Zimmer said it was necessary. I said it was a disgrace. I seek to be elected to the United States Senate because I want to take the promise of a second Clinton administration for quality schools, to finish the job for a clean environment, to support law enforcement, to keep the commitment of Medicare. We want to win an election together, but more fundamentally, we want to end the gridlock, stop the infighting, end the bickering, govern the country, and get real victories not for ourselves or our party, but for the American people who need and deserve more. That much we ask. For me, it is the final hours to come before you as a candidate for the United States Senate. I've asked you to do more than I ever had a right to ask. You've walked more miles, made more donations, given me more help than I ever had a right to request. But in these final hours, I thank you, and I pledge you only this. As the years pass, as you remember this night, I pledge to you will always be able to say, I was there, I supported him, I lent my voice and my vote. I will make you proud that you stood with me in this campaign. That much I promise. And for one final time, I want and I have the honor of introducing you to a man you know as a friend, someone who has stood with our families and our state, someone who has given our country hope and belief in itself, someone who allows us to look to a new time and a new century with pride, confidence, and resolve. For me, I end this campaign with the words that were among the first I ever heard when I became interested in public service. In his own campaign for the presidency, Bobby Kennedy said, "The future is not a gift, it is an achievement, and it is earned by each and every generation anew." I know of no man in our time who has given more meaning to those words, the man with whom I seek to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to bring to you a great American, a leader who will bring our country to a new century. Ladies and gentlemen, the President and the next President of the United States of America, Bill Clinton.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for coming out, standing in the cold, making me feel warm. Are you ready for a victory on Tuesday? Are you ready to work until Tuesday for the victory? Let me thank the Union High School Band for their music. Let me thank you for your music. Let me thank Christina Escleros. Was she fabulous or what? She did it for the Yankees. She's doing it for Torricelli. Mayor Petty, thank you for welcoming us here. To Governor Florio, Mayor Del Vecchio, Larry Lerner, thank you for running for Congress. Thank you both. Congressman Payne, to all the other dignitaries who are here, let me thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I want to say a special word of thanks to my great friend Whoopi Goldberg for being there for us through this whole campaign. She has always been funny, and she has always been wise, but she is becoming wiser and funnier and more effective for her country, and I'm grateful. Let me thank Senator Frank Lautenberg for his work, his support, and for standing for you. And let me say a special word of thanks to Bill Bradley. We've known each other a very long time now. I remember so well when he first ran for the Senate from New Jersey. I remember so many things about his distinguished career. He made a difference for New Jersey and a difference for America. He was what we want every public official to be. We wish you well, and we thank you, Bill Bradley. Godspeed. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I was trying to think, what, if anything, I might say to all of you who are here, to the large number of undecided voters who remain, to the young people. I know we have people from Rutgers and Kean College here, and I thank you both for being here. What I might say about Bob Torricelli that would have any impact. After all, this decision is New Jersey's decision, and I am just another citizen when it comes to voting, and not even a registered voter here. But I know three things I would like you to know. You know, I think our politics, as I have said many times, has become too personally negative. I think that there is this overwhelming temptation that I see too much in politics to convince the voters that the other people are not only wrong, which is a legitimate thing, but bad folks. I am 2 days from the end of the last campaign I will ever run. I have been more blessed than any American in my lifetime. I have received honors from the American people that no person could rightly claim to deserve. I have done my best to make this a better country. But I have to tell you, in those 20-plus years, I have learned that most of the people who run for office in both parties are good, honest, hardworking people who love our country, who love their families, and who want to do what is right. I can't say I've enjoyed, but I have been awestruck by the protean battle that Congressman Torricelli and Congressman Zimmer have waged. They remind me of some battles I saw earlier in my youth when I wasn't sure either team would walk off the field. But there are three things I want you to know that I know about Bob Torricelli. Number one, he is a ferocious fighter for what he believes in, and he believes in New Jersey. In quiet, private moments, when there were no cameras, no reporters, no press, no contributors, nobody from New Jersey, no one to impress, nothing to say. He has an extraordinary mind. He has an extraordinary understanding of our country. He thinks about the future. You need someone in the Senate that has the capacity to be a truly great positive force for the United States in the 21st century. Bob Torricelli could become a truly great United States Senator and a great positive force for our country and for New Jersey in the 21st century. And I hope you'll give him a chance to do that. But third, and for the moment most important, it has fallen to Bob Torricelli and those of like mind, and to Al Gore and to me, to make the case for America's future that always has to be made at a time of great change. We're going through a huge change in the way we work and live and relate to one another and the rest of the world. I'm sure that you've seen changes here in Union Township in the way families live. I could just give you one little example. When I became president, there were 3 million Americans making a living by working at home. Today, because of computer technology, there are 12 million. By the year 2000, there will be 20 million. Let me give you another example. When I became president, there was no known medical treatment for stroke. Medical research has developed one. 2 of the genes that cause breast cancer have been discovered. We may be able to eventually cure all cases and to prevent many because of that. For the first time ever, laboratory animals with their spines completely severed have had movement in their lower legs because of nerve transplants from other parts of their bodies to the spine. We're about to build a supercomputer with IBM and the United States government that will do more calculations in a second than you can do on your handheld calculator in 30,000 years. When Hillary and Chelsea and I went to the Olympics to welcome all the teams from around the world, there were people from 197 different racial and ethnic groups there and national groups. The United States is the only great country in the world that has people in it from virtually all of those places. This is a different world. It is new, it is exciting, it is full of new changes. And every time we go through a period like that, the great question is, will we meet these challenges? Will we seize these opportunities in a way that helps us to live more closely to those ideals we believe in and to grow as a country together as we go forward together? Bob Torricelli will help us to do that. The approach we have taken will help us to do that. The great difference here in this election is between those who believe that we're better off on our own and those of us who believe we're better off when all of us work to give each other the tools we need to make the most of our own lives and to build a better future together. I do believe, as the First Lady said, it takes a village to raise a child and build a country and build a future. I do believe that we're always going to be better off when we build a bridge together to the future that's big enough and wide enough for us all to walk across. But make no mistake about it, in this last presidential election, because of the sheer dimensions of the change through which we are living, we must make the right decision. This is not an election of party, it is an election of nation and people. The Republican Party at times past has fulfilled this historic role for us. That's what Abraham Lincoln did when he gave his life to save the Union and to end the abominable practice of slavery. That's what Theodore Roosevelt did when he said it's wrong for children to work 70 hours in factories every week. It's wrong for them not to be in school. It's wrong to destroy our natural heritage. It's wrong for monopolies to destroy the free enterprise system. He did that. But today, it is our party, it is our administration, and it is Congressman Torricelli who represent the view that we must meet these challenges together and go forward together. And that is the central issue in this election. If you doubt it, I will give you just a few examples. The environmental example is an easy one for me. We have to prove we can grow the economy and preserve, indeed enhance, the environment. It is wrong what they tried to do in their budget to let polluters off the hook. They should pay, and we should help to close all these toxic waste dumps that are compromising our children's future. We should do this together, and they should assume their responsibility. Look at law enforcement. Their budget would have abolished our commitment to put 100,000 police on the street, but we have had 4 years of declining crime and the lowest crime rate in 10 years in the United States. If we can have 4 more, it might actually be safe for everybody to walk on the streets and play in all the parks and be in all the neighborhoods, and we could feel good about America's security again. We need to keep going in the direction we're going. We don't need to take a U-turn. You should stand with law enforcement and support our direction because it's right for America, and it'll make us a better place. We need a growing economy to succeed and to do what is best for all of us. 4 years ago, you took me on faith in New Jersey when I said we could lower the deficit, still invest in an education, expand trade, and grow the economy. You took it on faith. When I said this liberal-conservative debate doesn't make any sense, I'll shrink the size of government, but I want us to be stronger, to grow together. Now, you know the evidence. We've got the smallest federal government since President Kennedy. We reduced more unnecessary programs and regulations than my two Republican predecessors. We privatized more government operations than my two Republican predecessors, but we have a program that continues to invest in education, technology, and in our future, and we have 10.7 million new jobs to show for it. A 15-year high in home ownership, a 27-year low in the rates of unemployment and inflation combined. This country is moving in the right direction. Help us keep it going. We don't need to take a U-turn. We need to balance the budget and have targeted tax cuts for what people really need and for the people who really need it. For education, child rearing, buying that first home, paying for health care. We don't need a big tax cut that they won't tell you how they can pay for because it will blow a hole in the deficit, raise interest rates, and require bigger cuts in education, the environment, Medicare, and Medicaid than the ones I vetoed. So let's balance the budget, keep the economy growing, and secure the future of New Jersey's children. That's what's at stake in this election, and I want you to help us do it. And finally, the biggest question of all, in a world that is changing like this, people will have to keep on learning for a lifetime. We have a program to give every child in America world-class educational opportunities, to open the doors of college to all, to hook up every classroom in America to the information superhighway so that every child in New Jersey, without regard to income or race or region or national background, can have access for the first time in the history of America to the same information in the same time in the same way. It will revolutionize education. Our plan is right, and their opposition to it is wrong. We need your help to build that bridge to the 21st century. We need your help. We need your help to make sure that we allow families to deduct from their tax bill the cost of a typical community college tuition so everybody can have at least 2 years of education after high school of any age. We need your help to give people a deduction for the cost of college tuition, of any kind of college tuition, so all people can go to college. We need your help to do that, and we'll get it paid back. We need your help to make sure every 8-year-old child in this country can read too. I have challenged 100,000 young people to take work-study money that we just appropriated to give them, to use that money to help teach our 8-year-olds to read. We can do these things, folks, but we can't do them if we take the philosophy embodied in the budget they signed, they passed, that I vetoed, and then when I vetoed it, they shut the government down, not once but twice, to try to force it on me. And they said the president will never allow the government to be shut down. And I said, I'd rather you be inconvenienced for 30 days than hurt for 30 years. I will never let that happen to America. You have to decide. You have to decide. So on this brisk New Jersey evening, when you see the flags blowing in the breeze, those are the winds of change of the 21st century. The best days of this country are still ahead of us. The young people in this audience will have more opportunities to live out their dreams than any generation of Americans in history. We will have more opportunity to promote peace and freedom and prosperity for ourselves and the world than any generation of Americans in history. But we must decide that we really believe down deep inside that there are things we must do together, and that we will all be better off if we give our people not a guarantee but a chance to become what God meant them to be. And if we're willing to say, we don't care anything else about you, if you believe in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, if you're willing to get up and go to work or go to school or do whatever you're supposed to do tomorrow, we don't care where you come from, we don't care whether you're rich or poor, we don't care what your racial or ethnic or religious background is. We don't need to know anything else about you. You are part of our America, and we are going to build an even greater future for the greatest country in all of human history. Give us a chance on Tuesday. Give Bob Torricelli a chance on Tuesday. Give yourselves a chance on Tuesday. We need you, New Jersey. Be there. Thank you, and God bless you all.